Hello everyone, how are you doing today? So yesterday I was reading Course in Miracles lesson number 3, which said that I do not understand anything I see. So hopefully you were doing this work. I was trying to do this as well. So like everything I see, I was having this thought along the way that, for example, wherever I'm having a look at, I'm thinking this thought that I don't understand anything I see. Especially when something emotional happens, when something can trigger you. So like you have this thought, I do not understand anything I see. And you know what? It actually helps you to not to be so tense about something, not to be so stressed. So actually you are a little bit more relaxed, and I already feel that doing this work, it actually helps. So let's go reading the next lesson number 4. Lesson 4 says, these thoughts do not mean anything. They are like the things I see in this room, on this street, from this window, in this place. Wow, such an interesting lesson. So we all have gazillion thoughts in our heads, along the day. And whatever thought you can have, positive one, negative one, so can you just refocus on the other thought that, this thought does not mean anything. I just have this thought, but it doesn't mean anything. Okay, so let's keep reading. Unlike the preceding ones, these exercises do not begin with the idea for the day. In these practice periods, begin with nothing the thoughts that are crossing your mind for about a minute. Then apply the idea to them. If you are already aware of unhappy thoughts, use them as subjects for the idea. Do not, however, select only the thoughts you think are bad. Quote. You will find, if you train yourself to look at your thoughts, that they represent such a mixture that, in a sense, none of them can be called good or bad. This is why they do not mean anything. We give cliché, we give tags, to wherever we see. Good, bad, neutral, We even made up all these words, Okay, so in selecting the subjects for the application of today's idea, the usual specificity is required. Do not be afraid to use good thoughts as well as bad. None of them represents your real thoughts, which are being covered up by them. Can you imagine that you can do this work not only on bad thoughts, but also on good thoughts? It's interesting. Okay, none of them represents your real thoughts, which are being covered up by them. The good ones are but shadows of what lies beyond. Ones are blocks to sight and make seeing impossible. Once more time. The bad ones are blocks to sight and make seeing impossible. The good ones are but shadows of what lies beyond, and shadows make sight difficult. Once more time. The good ones are but shadows of what lies beyond, and shadows make sight difficult. The bad ones are blocks to sight and make seeing impossible. You do not want either. So you don't want neither good nor bad thoughts. Because even good thoughts are just shadows. This is a major exercise and will be repeated from time to time in somewhat different form. The aim here is to train you in the first steps toward the goal of separating the meaningless from the meaningful. It is the first attempt in the long-range purpose of learning to see the meaningless as outside you and the meaningful within. It is also the beginning of training your mind to recognize what is the same and what is different. In using your thoughts for application of the idea for today, identify each thought by the central figure or event it contains. For example, this thought about, and they have this space about something, yeah? So like they thought about some situation, yeah, or about some person, does not mean anything. So for example, I have some thought about someone. Oh, probably how good they are, how bad they are, yeah, actually no difference between all of them, yeah, we read before. So for example, I'm having this thought, oh, how good they are, and I'm having this thought like this thought about them does not mean anything. Or I'm thinking, oh, how good, how bad they are. And I'm also thinking that this thought also, yeah, this thought about them also does not mean anything. Wow. How about that? Yeah, so it is like the things I see in this room, on this street, and so on. So it's like wherever I see around me, whoever I see around me, I apply this today's idea. This thought about this table, about this person, does not mean anything. This thought about this situation does not mean anything. Alright, you can also use the idea for a particular thought that you recognize as harmful. This practice is useful but is not a substitute for the more random procedures to be followed for the exercises. Do not, however, examine your mind for more than a minute or so. So a minute is enough. You are too inexperienced as yet to avoid a tendency to become pointlessly preoccupied. They say that we can actually dive into these thoughts, yeah, and forget why we did that, yeah? You know how easily we can get started thinking about something, and after that it's like, how did I end up having this thought? Yeah, so yeah, it can happen. Okay, further, since these exercises are the first of their kind, you may find the suspension of judgment in connection with thoughts particularly difficult. Do not repeat these exercises more than 3 or 4 times during the day. We will return to them later. Alright, so let's resume this lesson. Pretty powerful, I guess. It feels like. So these thoughts do not mean anything. Wherever we are having our thoughts along the day, whatever we are doing, so just remember to think that, alright, yeah, I'm having these thoughts, but these thoughts do not mean anything. They don't mean anything. How is that? Yeah? So I'm gonna do this work today, and hopefully you can do the same work with me. And yeah, hopefully it can be useful for you and make your life easier. See you tomorrow. Bye.